My Ethan is quirky, you might say unique, but foremost in his nature, the man really digs Pete. It's important to note he was not always 50, so I'm sharing his tale, which I'm sure you'll find nifty. He was born in Vermont, our Green Mountain boy, to hippie-prone parents, a bundle of joy. They dropped out of college, a kid on the way. From such humble beginnings, their love lives to this day. A decrepit old farmhouse became their new home. Our tree-hugging lads strolled the fields, woods, and loams, but his mom, she grew lonely and a little afraid, while his dad worked long days as a teller. Bank trade. So Bowser the dog came onto the scene, their protector, defender, part pet and part fiend. Then a sister arrived, and you know how that goes. Oh, she screamed and she cried, kept the rents on their toes. Mom and Dad, said Ethan in all earnestness, she's messed up our lives, and we're all so distressed. The solution is clear, and he gestured to them. Put that babe in the trash can, lid on, the end. But lucky for them, Ethan's words were not heeded, and the family of four moved to town and succeeded in making their home on the banks of a river, whose name was the Pawcatuck, safely delivered to permanent lodgings in whose leafy surrounds were our budding young naturalists' new training grounds. Idyllic it may seem to you and to me, but the Perrys have quite the tradition, you see. Boarding school. At 14, he left for Westtown, that's near Philly. Like a Hogwarts for Quakers, they can pray themselves silly. Off he went on a day that was oh so momentous to his new school that was his in loco parentis. Next stop, it was Boston. For 4 years at Tufts, a life in a big city, and he had quite enough. When Ethan, a junior, ran off to Australia to study abroad, that broad's never failed ya. The Peace Corps called next, for her but not him. For Panama bound, he left on a whim, and there they were married. You might call them rash, but no blue bloods refusing this southern white trash. Minnesota was next for a grad school adventure and a 10,000 lakes education thirst quencher. Whilst fishing for carrots in the depths of Lake Portage and mapping leased flycatchers' nests for reportage, his thoughts turned to settling down and a mortgage. be the place for him and for her? They'd been just passing through, but then they conferred. This place has great forests and prairies, you know. We could set up a life here. Let's give it a go. It's like Minnesota, the state, turned to them with a smile. Put on your coat, dears, and stay for a while. Stay they did, then moved northward, drawn to the big lake, and lived in the hillside for years, give or take. By this time, our Ethan had flat out converted to a plant guy of all things, and so he averted all kinds of careers. Our handsome young man stayed true to his nature, with pistols and stamens and plant nomenclature. Not too long after ensued fatherhood. A bright, joyful babe joined the family and stood in the center of life. Now a trio they could consider homesteading for ill or for good. Toward the woods, this young family scooched closer and closer. They came oh so close to losing composure, whilst building their home, fate unknown, and what's more, started harvesting sunlight on Pitcher Pond's shores. Our Ethan is now a keeper of bees, lives one with the land, a protector of trees. We hardly can wait to see what he does next. What, 50? That's nada. Get on with the rest.